The countdown hit 0 at 14:59. Not an explosion, not a flash, not a declaration of victory or a final broadcast or any of the things the Empire had prepared for. Just silence. 31 billion humans already gone. 4,812 ships already moving. 11 seconds between the last extraction and the moment the Empire noticed. The Tharian Empire demanded surrender. Humanity chose absence. And somewhere in the darkness between stars, a line of ships formed up and pointed toward somewhere the Empire had no maps for. Not running, not hiding, not fleeing. Graduation. The pen was still warm. The Senate chamber stayed empty for 3 days. High Commander Vorthak sat alone in the center throne. His carapace still gleamed. His secondary eyes still scanned. But his mandibles hadn't clicked since the humans left. No one had seen him eat. No one had seen him sleep. On the 3rd day, he spoke. Where did they go? His aide, the young one who'd said, "Withdrawal implies choice," stood at the edge of the lowered platform. She didn't step down onto it. No Tharian had stepped down onto it since the humans left. "We don't know, Commander." "Find out. We've tried. Every ship that left Imperial space, we lost their signals at the Korathi Belt. After that, nothing." Vorthak's left secondary eye twitched. "Nothing. Nothing, sir. No heat signatures, no comm traffic, no engine trails. It's like they never existed." On Nest 7, Admiral Chen stood before the wall. 7,834 names, carved into stone, each name exactly 12 millimeters high, each letter exactly 2 millimeters deep. The stone was gray, the same gray as the Senate chamber, but softer somehow, warmer. Chen had watched the carvers work for 3 months. They'd used lasers at first, then switched to hand tools when the lasers made the stone feel cold. She read the first name, Aisha Okonkwo, age 7, died in cryofailure year 12. She read the second, James Velez, age 43, died radiation exposure year 19. She read the third, Priya Chen, age 28, died hull breach year 31. She kept reading. It took 4 hours. The Empire's collapse accelerated on day 4. Without humans to manage the supply lines, the Tharian military started eating its own reserves. Food that should have lasted 6 months lasted 6 days. Fuel that should have lasted a year lasted a week. Tharian commanders started fighting each other over remaining supplies. The Veth watched from the edge of Imperial space. Elder Zalara broadcast nothing, said nothing, just watched. On day 5, the Cathari sent a message to every species in the galaxy. It was short. The humans left because they could. We left because we saw what they saw. The Empire is not strong. It is loud. There is a difference. On day 6, the Silent Ones left behind a single object in their abandoned embassy. A stone, smooth, gray, warm to the touch. No one knew what it meant, but no one threw it away. Vorthak called a Senate session on day 7. 300 nobles attended. 12 allied species sent observers. 16 human journalists did not attend because the human journalists were gone. "The Empire will not surrender," Vorthak announced. His voice echoed off the gray stone. "The Empire will rebuild. We will find the humans. We will bring them back. We will make them serve." A Tharian noble in the 3rd row stood. "High Commander, how?" Vorthak's mandibles clicked. "We will find their hiding place." "With what ships? We have no fuel, we have no food, we have no crews. The humans ran every supply depot in the Empire. Then we will train new crews." "From where?" "The humans ran every training program too." Vorthak's left secondary eye twitched. The noble sat down. No one else spoke. On Nest 7, Dr. Jonah Velez poured mate into his grandmother's cup. The green enamel was chipped in 7 places now. The handle had been reattached twice. He'd stopped counting how many years he'd been drinking from it. 47 years, he said. "My grandmother used to say that was a lifetime." Admiral Chen looked up from the wall of names. She'd finished reading 2 hours ago. She hadn't moved. "Your grandmother was right. She also said that a lifetime was exactly as long as you needed it to be. No more, no less." Chen touched the photograph in her pocket. "She sounds wise. She was stubborn, same thing mostly." Velez sipped his mate. The steam rose in the cold air. "Where do we go now?" Chen looked out the observation window. Deep space. Black and infinite. Somewhere out there, 4,812 ships were waiting. 31 billion people were sleeping in cryo. 7,834 names were carved in stone. We build something new, she said. Somewhere they'll never find us. That's not an answer. Chen almost smiled. It's the only answer I have. The Empire's food supply ran out on day 12. Not all at once. Slowly, system by system. A colony here, a mining station there. Ships that couldn't reach their destinations because the fuel depots were empty. Tharian citizens started leaving. Not in ships. There were no ships. Just walking away from their homes, carrying what they could, heading for the edge of imperial space where the Veth had set up refugee camps. Elder Zalera watched them come. She didn't turn them away. She didn't ask for tribute. She just watched. The Empire demanded surrender, she told Vex. The humans gave them absence. Now the Empire is eating itself. Vex frowned. Will it survive? Zalera closed her secondary eyes. No, but its children might. On day 15, Vorthak received a message. It came from a ship designated Nest 7. The Empire's records showed Nest 7 had been decommissioned 47 years ago. The same year Dr. Aris Thorne published his paper. The same year Lion Wei's father signed the treaty. The message was text only. You're still looking for us. We're not hiding. You're just not looking in the right places. Below the message, a single line. The coordinates we gave you, check them again. Vorthak pulled up the coordinates. The ones the humans had sent, every Imperial asset, accurate to 0.3 meters. He looked at the first one. A Tharian fleet, stationed at the edge of the Korathi belt. The coordinates were wrong. Not by much, 0.3 meters. That was what the humans had said, 0.3 meters. But 0.3 meters was enough. The fleet wasn't where the humans had said it was. It was 0.3 meters away, which meant the humans had known exactly where the fleet would be. Not where it was, where it would be. Vorthak's mandibles went still. They hadn't given him coordinates. They'd given him a prediction. And they'd been right. On S7, Lion Wei found Chen in the observation bay. The green displacement glow had dimmed. The ships were sleeping now, engines off, life support minimal. 31 billion people in cryo, waiting for somewhere to wake up. 70 days, Lion said. Chen didn't turn. What? Elder Zalara. She said the Empire would beg within 70 days. It's been 15. They're already breaking. Chen nodded slowly. Faster than I thought. Zalara said their children will remember. Not them, their children. Chen turned. Her face was tired. Her eyes were red from the cryogas maybe, or from reading 7,000 names. Do you think she's right? Lion looked at the wall. The names, the stone, the steam rising from Velez's kettle in the corner. I think she's watched more empires fall than we've watched rise. She probably knows what she's talking about. Chen touched the photograph in her pocket. I never got to say goodbye to my mother. None of us did. I know. That's not comfort. Lion pressed the silver stylus into Chen's palm. The pen was warm. Same pen, different signature. Chen looked at the stylus. The silver caught the dim light. Your father would be proud. Lion almost smiled. He'd be confused, but maybe proud. On day 20, the Tharian military officially ceased to exist. Not destroyed, just disbanded. Ships that couldn't fly were abandoned. Soldiers who couldn't eat went home. Commanders who couldn't command resigned. Vorthak sat alone in the center throne. No one came to see him. No one brought reports. No one asked for orders. The Empire hadn't lost a war. It had lost a game it didn't know it was playing. And the humans had stopped playing 47 years ago. Elder Zalara broadcast to the galaxy on day 25. The Empire demanded surrender. The humans chose absence. Now the Empire is learning what absence means. It means no one left to blame, no one left to fight, no one left to surrender to. She paused. I am 2,300 years old. I have seen empires rise and fall. I have never seen one fall this quietly. Vex looked up from his data slate. What happens now? Zalara closed her eyes. Now we wait. The humans will come back, not to conquer, not to fight, just to see who's still here. How do you know? Zalara opened her eyes. Because that's what graduation looks like. You leave. You grow, you come back to see who else made it out. On S7, the wall was finished. 7,834 names, each one read aloud, each one remembered. Admiral Chen stood before the stone. The green displacement glow was off now. The ships were dark. The only light came from Velez's kettle and the dim red safety strips along the floor. Lion Wei stood beside her. "Where do we go now?" Lion asked. Chen looked at the photograph. The chicken rice stall, the steam, her mother's hand. "We build something new, somewhere they'll never find us." "That's not an answer." Chen turned, her eyes were dry, her voice was steady. "No, but it's the only one I have." She pressed the silver stylus into Lion's palm. Same pen, different signature. The ships woke up on day 30. Not all at once, slowly, one by one. The displacement drives hummed back to life. The green glow returned. The cryopods opened and 31 billion humans opened their eyes. They were somewhere the Empire had no maps for. Somewhere the Empire didn't know existed. Somewhere the Empire couldn't find. Admiral Chen stood on the observation deck of Nest 7, watching the fleet form up. 4,812 ships, 31 billion souls. Lion Wei stood beside her. "The Empire will fall," Lion said. Chen nodded. "Maybe." Zelara said, "Their children will remember us." "Maybe." That's not very confident. Chen looked at the silver stylus in her hand. The pen was warm. "Confidence is for people who know what happens next. I don't. None of us do. We're building something new. That means we don't get to know." Lion was quiet for a long time. Then she smiled. "That's not running, that's graduation." The Tharian Empire sent a message on day 40. It was addressed to the humans who left. It was delivered to every ship in the galaxy, a desperate broadcast on every frequency. "We surrender. We will give you anything, just come back." No one answered. The Veth heard the broadcast. Elder Zelara recorded it in her archives. She labeled it "The Day the Empire Learned to Beg." She filed it next to the fall of Rome, 476 CE. Then she went back to watching. On Nest 7, Dr. Jonah Velez poured mate into his grandmother's cup. The green enamel was warm, the steam rose, the displacement drives hummed. 40 days, he said. Zelara said 70, she was wrong. Admiral Chen looked at him. She was being generous. Or optimistic. Same thing mostly. Velez sipped his mate. "Where do we go now?" Chen looked out the observation window. The fleet was moving, not running, not hiding, just moving. Somewhere new, somewhere we build ourselves. That's still not an answer. Chen almost smiled. "No, but it's the best one I have." The Empire's final message came on day 47. It was short. It was broadcast on a single frequency, the one the humans had used to send their coordinates. "We understand now. You didn't leave because you were afraid. You left because you didn't need us. We don't know what that feels like, but we're learning." No one answered. The frequency went silent, and somewhere in the darkness between stars, 4,812 ships pointed toward somewhere the Empire had no maps for. Not running, not hiding, not fleeing. Graduation. On S7, the wall stood silent. 7,834 names, carved in stone, each name exactly 12 millimeters high, each letter exactly 2 millimeters deep. Admiral Chen visited the wall every day. She didn't read the names again. She didn't need to. She'd memorized them all. She just stood there, silent still. Lion Wei found her there on day 50. "You're still thinking about them." Chen nodded. "Every day." They knew what they were signing up for. "I know. That doesn't make it easier." Chen turned, her eyes were wet, her voice was steady. "No, but it makes it worth it." She pressed the silver stylus into Lion's palm. Same pen, different signature. Elder Zelara broadcast her final message on day 60. "The Empire is gone, not destroyed, just empty. The humans taught them something they didn't want to learn, that power is needing nothing, not taking everything." She paused. "I am 2,300 years old. I have seen empires rise and fall. I have never seen one learn this fast." Vex looked up from his data slate. "What happens to the Empire now?" Zelara closed her eyes. "Now it becomes something else, something smaller, something that remembers what it lost." "How do you know?" Zelara opened her eyes. "Because that's what graduation looks like. You leave, You grow, you come back to see who else made it out. The fleet stopped moving on day 67. Not because they'd arrived, because they'd decided where they were going. Admiral Chen stood on the observation deck of Nest 7 looking at the coordinates. A star system no one had ever named. A place with no empire, no Tharians, no treaties, no lowered platforms. Just space, just stone, just room to build. Lion Wei stood beside her. "It's not much," Lion said. Chen nodded. "It's enough. It's empty. It's ours." Lion looked at the silver stylus in her hand. The pen was warm. Same pen, different signature. The Tharian Empire sent its last transmission on day 70. It was addressed to Elder Zilara. "You were right, we begged. They didn't answer. What do we do now?" Zilara recorded her response. "You build something new. Somewhere they'll never find you. Not because you're hiding. Because you no longer care about their galaxy." She paused. "That's not running. That's graduation." On S7, the first stone was laid. Not a wall, not a memorial. A foundation for a city, for a home, for something new. Admiral Chen watched the construction crews work. They moved slowly, still tired from cryo, still grieving, still learning how to build instead of run. Lion Wei stood beside her. 7,834, Lion said. Chen nodded. "I remember everyone. They'd want us to build this. I know. They'd want us to live." Chen turned. Her eyes were dry. Her voice was steady. "Then let's live." The pen was warm. Lion Wei pressed the silver stylus into the first stone. The metal left a small mark, a dent, barely visible where the pen had been. She stepped back. Chen stepped forward. She placed the photograph of the chicken rice stall on top of the stone. The steam in the picture didn't move. The wok didn't sizzle. Her mother's hand didn't reach for chopsticks. But the photograph remained. "Same pen," Chen said. Lion nodded. "Different signature." The displacement drives hummed. The green glow lit the stone. And somewhere in the darkness between stars, 4,812 ships sat still. Not running, not hiding, not fleeing. Home. The pen was still warm.